everybody, and welcome to a new episode of the Music Industry Loft. In this podcast, we dive into the careers, lives, and passions of the people driving the music industry. Today, I'm talking to The Watcher, an MC who's been active for 20 years, mostly in the hardcore scene. He's often referred to as the Voice of Mayhem, and he's not only known for his voice and some of the iconic tracks he did, but also for his connections with the artist and with the crowds. I'm really excited to dive into his 20 years of experience today and talk about everything that he does. I'm about to jump in my car and I'll see you guys there. Thank you for having me, first of all.
Very welcome.
Yeah, thank you. How are you? Let's start with that.
I'm good. I'm actually really good. Just good.
Just good?
Yeah, just good.
Okay. We're going to dive into your history first. Because there's 20 years, if I said that right?
20 years. So I started in 2006.
So, yeah. 19 years.
19 years. So next year it'll be 20 years. What a ride. Yeah, like really. It's been 20 extraordinary years. Let me put it like that.
I can imagine that. Yeah. So 20 years ago, let's move back. How did you get even into this? Like, how do you start as an MC in the hardcore scene?
Well, actually, I didn't start in the hardcore scene.
Oh.
I started.
I did not know that actually.
Yeah, not a lot of people do.
Okay, yeah.
I actually started with. I was a bartender back then, and I was working.
I think that's how we all started.
Yeah, exactly. I was a bartender, just bartending in a local club in Tilburg, Villa Fiesta, and it was an upper ski club. So just to entertain the crowd, we would get on the bar and just start dancing, singing, and also MCing. Grab the mic, and it's kind of escalated from there. So
from like entertaining.
Then I also did house bookings, like in Romania, House Break Romania. Did a show with Afrojack. Yeah, and kind of.
How did it go from upper skis to?
I went with two of my friends from back then, also DJ and MC. I went to parties and they were already starting a bit, and I was like, okay, just give me the mic sometimes, and it started from there. And they did the hardcore bookings, hardstyle bookings. It kind of gradually went that way.
Almost as if you don't notice it, maybe.
Back then I was at 2006, so I was at an agency before my current one, and they booked me like in Romania, and I was with Seed for Real, Jojo Biomanica, the Seed for Real guys, all those people, also with Showtech. And it kind of gradually went into the harder styles even more. I did some hardcore bookings next to the house bookings. And it kind of, just went that way. I had a choice like, okay, do you want to do house or do you want to do more hardcore? Choose which direction you want to focus on.
And what motivated that direction? Were you like already into that music, into that scene?
Yeah, like back in the days, like... 1997, probably even before that. You had the whole hardcore period, like the early, like the happy hardcore. Like my first CD actually was Hellraiser.
Oh,
I have no idea if anybody knows it, but
I do know it.
The Hellraiser, the skull thing.
Yeah.
So that was one of my first CDs that I bought.
That's cool.
So I have no idea when. 1994, probably? I don't know.
It's before I was born.
No. Sorry?
1995. I'm not that young. But...
No, I'm like 1994. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look it up. Yeah. But that was one of my first CDs. Played it a lot, and then kind of floated into other styles. Like after that, house, UK hard house, still one of my favorite styles. And then also hardcore. Just loved the sound, loved the music, the crowd.
Yeah, because community is a big thing in hardcore. Like it's very community
driven.
That would be the word. Did that play a role into your choice?
That as well. Like one of the first festivals I went to was like Mysteryland.
Oh yeah.
In 2001, I think. Yeah, 2001. 2000. And yeah, I just visited all the styles, and back then it was a UK hard house, and just the harder styles crowd is just, how do you say it?
Did they have already like harder style stages back then? I know they have a Thunder.
They had like Tom Harding, so that's more the HQ sound.
Yeah.
Like the UK hard house sound. I think they had hardcore back then. I'm not sure, but yeah, it kind of went that direction from hard house, then hardstyle. Back then, hardstyle wasn't even there yet. It was called hard trance with Bitter Ein Beat CDs from Mental Tio. So yeah, it went from hard house, hard trance, then it turned into hardstyle. Yeah, and just kept getting harder, really.
Yeah. It's
basically.
I feel like it still is getting harder right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it probably has ups and downs, right? I feel like at some point we're gonna reach the top again, and then we're probably gonna go into this slower, like the more down tempo.
I think we're already there.
Yeah,
like
I think we're already reaching that, because you have like Mad Dog with the down tempo, and
Yep.
Engif is like producing slower tracks again.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're getting there again.
Yeah, it's always a cycle. It goes harder, more melodic. Then there's people get freaking fed up with the melodic stuff for 1.5 minutes or 2 minutes of break, and they just want to go absolutely nuts with kicks and whatever, and then that gets boring again, because there's basically only kicks in the track, or just raw stuff, like the not a lot of feeling is not the right way to say it, but
it's a different kind of feeling, right? It's not
just
just
a hype,
like the hard
aggression.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, and now, for example, in 013. 013. 013. They have the J Reef with the melodic parties who started out really small and then kind of exploded. So there's really like a market for it, and the people really crave it. The Millennium parties, for example, resonate. You had Reset.
Early as well, I feel like.
Yep.
Yeah.
Those that's growing as well. So it's good to see. Not like focus on one thing or just have one style and that's it, and the rest is just like dead, but more diverse. We kind of went way
I was thinking the same, like,
way left field and that, but
in a discussion about this, what I wanted to ask actually is so from like doing this as an MC, how did you get like to for example the 50 years anthem of Masters of Hardcore? I can imagine you have such milestones in your career.
True.
Yeah.
In 20 years, I experienced a lot. So
Yeah.
I started in 2006, and the Voice of Mayhem is 4 years later. So in 2000.
Of course, because
it's 2006 to 20.
Yeah.
So 4 years after I started MCing, like professionally MCing, it was we did Voice of Mayhem.
Yeah.
Which is actually a pretty lucky shot. Just we had no idea to do that. Like,
Because
let's go back. Like 2009, that was my first performance at Masters.
Yeah.
In the Massive Hardcore radio area. I was doing the Massive Hardcore radio show for a couple of years with Onno and Dennis and Justin as well. So it kind of grew from there to a Massive Hardcore stage for the first time, and after that show, they're like, okay, let's work together, sign to the agency, and let's do the anthem. Yeah. And it was the Voice of Mayhem.
Which has become such a thing.
It's been 15
years?
This 15 years.
Yeah.
It was 15. We didn't know it would be such an impact like before. Like it was like the story about that track. Like the day before, Paul Elsack had his party, like his birthday party in Club V, I have a picture, and we got totally. Yeah, okay, it was a fun night. Let's put it like that.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So then after that, I had to drive home to drop someone off. Drove back to the studio with Angry Fist and Outblast, and we were in the studio. So I was pretty hungover actually.
Yeah. But I feel like the best like things come from such moment. Like the best tracks were made in a few minutes, and
yeah,
it's so.
It
funny.
was like we were like, okay, I had like a lyric written, but it was like shit. So we were in the studio, and then we actually wrote it together. Like okay, like this, couple of lines, and then we recorded it, and it was like okay, dope. And then they're like, okay, just do something if you ever want to say anything, and that's where the scream came from. So it wasn't
like spontaneous.
It wasn't planned. So I was like, after that, my head hurt as hell. Like, okay, now I'm done. Cool.
It's a wrap.
Yeah, it's a wrap. Like, really, it was just, yeah. No, but that was like spontaneous, like screaming, full power. Yeah, it was cool. And it ended up being...
It's such an anthem. Like...
Yeah, even nowadays, like,
yeah.
everywhere we go, for example, abroad, if we go like Massive Hardcore, Spain, Italy we had, Switzerland, Austria, we even had it, Ukraine, Russia, all over the place, Poland I think even, I'm not sure, but Germany, and it kind of, it's an anthem that everybody knows that goes to the party, and when it plays, whoever plays it, whenever it gets played, people scream along on the track. Yeah, it's loud, and that's... Yeah, who could have imagined that? Like 15 years ago, I was not like, oh yeah, let's create an anthem that's being played 15 years from now.
And did it immediately have that effect though? Or is it something...
Actually, people hate it. Hate it on the track. The responses on, what was it back then, Party Flock and YouTube and whatever, be like, it's okay, you know, like it's an anthem, they're great.
That happens with so many anthems, I feel like. Like every year, for example, the Defcon anthem, people are like, oh, it's a shit anthem. And then Defcon happens and then everyone is singing it and loving it.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not like judging any Defcon anthem specifically now, but I feel like that happens so much with popular songs when they come out.
Yeah. It really does. You know what it is? Like, online is not real. Like
no.
The people that respond online, they're from all over the world, but not necessarily the target audience for the track. Like Voice of Mayhem, well nowadays it's like a really well-known track, like a famous track. But back then they're like, okay, fuck it, I like, what was it, Race King, I like that one better, or it's not the style that they like, so they're like, yeah, I'm hating it. So same with Defcon, like, okay, but I want something like
that.
No Guts, No Glory, or whatever anthem else. Like, same with Dominator anthems, Massive Hardcore anthems. Yeah, it's just the online,
Yeah.
And Dutch they say alles kut etter.
And also like it's, as you said, it's so different hearing it online for the first time as when you are in like a big area or like at a big festival.
True.
And then hearing it live, it's a very different atmosphere, especially if everyone is like singing or screaming along. Like that gives such energy that you cannot get online, I think.
I think so as well. The most interesting example of that, I think, it was the track which became number one last year? This year. Like Slaughterhouse.
Yeah, like
I think they premiered it at Dominator. Yeah.
Yeah, they did with the firework.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So that was like when you saw it being flipped around. Like
that was that was such a cool moment. I was working at Dominator and we were filming it from like the deck. So cool.
Okay, I was backstage.
Yeah, I was backstage.
I was backstage. No, well, I was done working. I was like, yeah, okay. No, actually, I was on the side. I had to run because of the fireworks, so we like get the hell out, get out. So I was like at the side, just watching the show, and I saw that moment, but it's different from the deck because you see everything. For me, it was just like, I kind of see what's happening, but yeah, whatever. I'm gonna stand here and be chill.
A fun fact: I was standing in a plant pot at that moment because I'm so small and I had to film it.
In a plant pot.
It was like a palm tree on the deck, and then everyone was of course on the deck to watch the end show. Yeah. So I stood like the whole time like this in a plant pot to film that.
Okay.
Fun fact of the day.
But did you make the shot?
I did make the shot.
Okay, exactly. That's what's important. Like, no, but like that's a great example for a track that's kind of. And then it wasn't online before it got played, and you first experienced the track, like, okay, what the hell is this? You know, like, I've never heard this, and this is cool, and then it escalates. Same with other tracks that are not released instantaneously, like, okay, here's a track, and it first gets played, people are craving for it, like, okay, yeah, I like this one, I like that one, and some tracks will fall by the wayside.
Yeah. That has become more of a thing. Maybe now social media is way bigger because now you get to hype it through like a moment like that or through TikTok or whatever. Where I can imagine 20 years ago that wasn't really the case.
We had Party Flock.
That's true.
We had Party Flock, and there was basically social media, but just for our scene.
Yeah.
And it was the same things. It were the same things that happens now with social media. So okay, you're hating on this, hate that. But also really cool conversations. It was cool back then. Like I still use Party Flock sometimes just to see the
I check what
calendar.
Parties are going. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
everybody uses the calendar. Yeah. Everybody's like, let me check what's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the social media back then, I don't think we really promoted tracks on Party Flock. Like sometimes, but. Yeah. Not as much as we did now on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook. Yeah. We were like, okay, here's the new track, and there you go. Party Flock was more like, release something, and you do a picture.
Yeah,
that's
way simpler.
Yeah, but back then, of course, we had YouTube, so
YouTube
is actually
the OG.
YouTube is actually 20 years as well.
Yeah. Talking about highlights, Voice of Mayhem was not your only highlight in your career or the only thing that happened in your career. Good or bad, what are the things that really stand out to you?
Well, there's actually a lot. Like, in 20 years you experience a lot of ups, downs. Like a positive highlight would be first time at basically every festival. Like,
you do a few of the big ones, right? And then the first time is
it's insane. The first time Dominator, first time Defcon, Decibel, Nature One.
I love Nature One.
And Nature One is nuts.
Yeah.
It's Nature One. I've actually been on the camping.
Oh, I've been too.
No. I slept there. Okay, try it. It's really just 24 hours of music, and you sort of can sleep, but the music never stops. They build like stages, and it's nuts.
Yeah, I love it.
I did a really cool interview. Go check it out. It's really creative, and experience the experience of the experience. I had no idea. The interview was whatever. It was Thursday. Give me my mic. Sure, man, sure. Whatever. Highlights, like the first time you come somewhere, you arrive somewhere, it's really a special moment. Like Dominator, first time I was, I think, not even supposed to be on the main stage, but got the chance to. For example, like I said, like Masters was a really gradual path. Also, like in the beginning, I started from clubs, small parties, doing shows for empty clubs, that kind of thing. And from there, it just gradually became bigger festivals. So each step was just like a moment, like a highlight. Like, okay, I really, now I'm here.
Yeah. And did you ever doubt that? Like,
doubt
should I be doing this, or like have I taken the right steps, or like doubt the way your career was going?
I think every artist does that. Like there's a point where you reflect, do you want to do this? So you for example, I started with a normal 9 to 5 job after bartending. Bartending and emceeing events, they don't really work together because it's basically the same time that you have to work.
Yeah.
So I ended with working not a holiday but like 6 months in Mallorca behind the bar, facialized.
I feel like we've all done that too.
Yeah, exactly. So when I came back, I decided like, okay, I'm gonna. It was like one of the first times I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do? Go back into the bartending scene, like hospitality, do that kind of stuff, or focus more on events and the music side. And that's a point like, what do you desire in life?
Yeah.
That's the most important question which you can ask yourself. Am I gonna do this because it's not for everyone? It's not sure. You have to sacrifice a lot. Like you'll miss birthdays. You'll miss.
It's a harder lifestyle than people realize, I think.
It is.
Yeah.
It's like for example I'm not sure if people know that. Like in 2009, my father passed away, and I was actually doubting if I should sign to Most Wanted. Back then it was A&A Bookings, I think. Yeah, A&A Bookings. So I was down like, okay, should I go for it? Should I do it myself? Should I just quit and be a 9 to 5, just work and grind? Or do something completely else? And it was actually the day before he passed away. Like I said my goodbyes, and after that we called, and it was like, okay, let's do this. That's one point. I was like, okay, let's just go for it, and we'll see where it ends. That was a special, not a highlight, but it's just an important point in my career.
Yeah. A key point.
Yeah, a key point. A key point within my career. After that, we did Voice of Mayhem, so that's a great decision.
Yeah.
And there will be times that you think like, is this really what I want to do? Like, because the scene changes, the people change, people get older, you get older, your desires might change.
Yeah.
You can. It's good to think about where am I now, where I want to go. Is it still what I desire? Like I said, you sacrifice a lot. Like for example, like birthdays, basically non-existent.
No,
when I'm free, I'll go to the birthday party from the family and do those kind of things. But
the answer is always, if I'm not working, I'll be
exactly.
There. Yeah.
It basically is like that. Like it's a sacrifice you'll make. Also with the financial side, in the beginning, you will not get paid a lot, especially
if you get paid at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We did the club scene and the just the small parties where you grow with each step. But in the beginning, you will not get paid a lot. Like you're like, okay, I'm just happy to be here. I'm getting my name out there, working for exposure. Like everybody starts that way. DJs. The same as just a regular office job. You'll start out lower, let's put it like that, and it just grows from there. But there will be sacrifices. Living in my street was a guy who was producing hip hop, and those guys went to America, sat in front of the office of Wu-Tang, and just we're not leaving until you take us in.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Did they though?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
In the end, they ended up at the label. Did a couple of cool tracks, some crazy parties in our street, but whatever.
Hip hop seems to me like a crazy scene to be in. Like
it is
for some reason.
No, well,
maybe because I'm not so familiar with it, but
no, like it's not. I'm like totally into hip hop and seeing there's guys like for example Ali, the guys from Rotterdam. They're more into that scene. Like back in the days, I actually was more of the party crowd, like the dance scene. So didn't really go into hip hop. Enjoyed a couple of bubbling parties.
Oh, fair.
Yeah, like back in the day, battle bubbling and dancing. Yeah, I danced as well.
Good.
Not anymore. I'll
break
break dancing. No, I'll break my every bone in my body will be broken if I try that again.
I sometimes feel so old. It's like my knees hurt and my back hurt, and I'm like I do like one day, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so exhausted. How did I used to like go to festivals, party non-stop?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how we did it. Like
when I was still vlogging, I did like DEFCON, for example, or Intense or whatever, and I just barely slept. I slept in my car once at Decibel because I sneaked in.
Okay.
Is it snuck or
Snuck.
snuck? Yeah, I was like, that doesn't seem right.
Yep.
I snuck in and I got like a bracelet from like a friend, and we like, and then I didn't have a place to sleep, so I walked all the way back to the parking and I slept in my car for like an hour, and then I walked back. I would rather not go, not do anything at all than do that.
I understand that.
Now, but 10 years ago, count me in. I'm sneaking into that party.
Well, it's fun to do it now. Something like that, just to experience it again, like doing crazy stuff. Well, it's something I actually enjoy. Just like not sleeping is kind of strange to say, but like pushing your limits, and like, okay, before the party, you think like, why the hell did I say yes?
Yeah.
So basically, for example, each year I'm doing Nature One and Shutdown. Nature One is from 8 at night till 6 in the morning. Then I have to drive to Frankfurt. And then from Frankfurt, I think
it's the same weekend, right?
It's the same weekend, well, same days. So it's the flight is at 9 usually, something like that. Then you land at 11 or 10, whatever. And then it's a 1 hour drive to the festival. So you arrive at 12, and then it's 1 till 11 or 12.
But that's that high that you get from like doing events like that.
Do
you get what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yep.
I know what you mean. It's also like, for example, we do a lot of boats house events now, and then I don't sleep during the day because we have to go there and whatever, and then you do the whole event and you're working the whole night, and then when you're sitting at that breakfast in the morning, like that's the best. That's both the worst and the best feeling at the same time. Just like eating your eggs and dying, like that's like life.
I think every artist has that. Like the breakfast at the hotel is probably one of the strangest things you'll ever see. Like everybody's totally fucked, totally messed up and tired, just sloppy eating, like the what's it called, continental breakfast with the eggs that are not really eggs, sort of thing. The squishy stuff, then some bacon, eggs, whatever stuff, and then some milk. And
that's an experience, man.
It really is.
It
like
really is,
you need to experience it, like totally just tired, like okay, great. Or take it along to your bed and sleep. Yeah.
No, but like the best is like having breakfast. And nobody talks really with each other. It's like kind of like silent, but it's such a feeling.
Pure nightmare. It's just, it's like, so okay, great man, it was a good night. Thanks. I need some sustenance.
I once we were in Cologne and we had a boat house event till 6 and breakfast started at 7. So then you have like the hour in between. So you're like back at the hotel like 6:15, 6:30. You go for a shower and stuff, and then you have the breakfast. But what we didn't know, it was Carnival in Cologne. So we had breakfast with the people, drinking beer in the morning, going to Carnival at 7 in the morning. We just had like I'm not sure if it was like in your face or hardcore, but like a hardcore event.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was the weirdest experience. It was so weird.
You know what the best solution is? Join.
Yeah, no. That's too much.
No. Listen, we actually did it a couple of times. Just you know what? Let's just grab one more drink, like drink in the morning, and then just keep going. The staff really does not enjoy that if you start drinking at the breakfast. Like, really? Huh. Still going? Well, great.
Bringing the rider back to the hotel.
Yeah. Shots of Flugel. Okay. No, but like the mornings after a festival are special. Like for example, at the end of a festival, and that ties back into the saying like, okay, pushing yourself to your limits. Like, okay, I actually accomplished it. You know, like Nature One Shutdown. After that, usually we keep drinking a small after party, and I'm like, I'm going to go to bed. You wake up and you're like tired, exhausted,
but it feels good,
but satisfied. Like, okay, I achieved it. It's like, I really did it. no sleep, whatever, I can push myself even beyond.
You're almost, sometimes it's actually kind of a weird thing that we're sometimes almost proud of not sleeping. We're like, oh, but I didn't sleep in 48 hours.
Yeah.
Like, I am absolutely dying. I feel awful, but I didn't sleep for 48 hours.
It is. No,
Yeah.
it is something to be proud of. Like, you're pushing your limits, like what you would normally do if it's healthy. That's a second second debate, but
I do think there need to be a healthy balance then, which you're like.
Yeah, like if you do that, if you do that 5 days or 7 days a week, you will die. You will like it's not healthy. But pushing your limit one time, like once a week or a couple of times a week, that's absolutely fine. Same as you go into the gym, you're not like, oh yeah, I'm gonna die because I'm in the gym 3, 4, 5 times a week. You just need to be. You really need to. What's the word I'm searching for? You need to dose your energy or learn how to.
I think you need to know yourself very well to do things like that.
Like you need to know where your limits are and.
Too far, yeah.
Well, it's not pushing too far. It's, if you know where your limits lie, then you can go beyond, but you cannot go way beyond what you're saying, like the absolute limit. Everybody has an absolute limit that you cannot break because it's physically impossible to break it. We can push it and become stronger, more fit. You can do that, but you should know where your absolute limit lies and where your normal limit lies.
Is that for you doable with like balance wise? Like I can imagine you're on the road a lot, but you're also like in different countries quite a lot.
Yeah.
With all the flying and like I imagine like all the hotels and all the hotel foods and all alcohol and stuff. I can imagine that's also quite a crash when you come back home. I had that quite a lot when I did like festivals every weekend, and then you come home and then it's over. And then for me that felt like a down.
Yeah.
And it's funny because like I don't use drugs. I'm sober, but I still had that down where like depressed and feeling shit
but it is like you said in the beginning, like the music and the energy is already a type of drug. Like it's a high. So it's for example, if I would do like 2 days of no sleeping, whatever, but the crowd is absolutely exhausted, tired, whatever, and they're just standing there looking like, yeah man, great, do a show and we want to be entertained. I'll sit here in a chair and look at you.
Sounds like my nightmare, but
yeah, no, but it's the energy that the crowd gives that hypes you up, and then you get the energy from everyone, just like okay, and you keep pushing each other beyond your limit. Like okay, let's keep going, let's keep partying. If they're energetic, you'll get the same energy back from them that you give, and that's really what keeps you going.
Yeah, and it's also a part of your job is to like get that crowd there, right? To keep them going.
Like you can overhype, but you can like I said, like 20 years. You know when you need to shut the hell up. And that's like what I would say to starting MC, know when to shut the hell up.
I feel like that's very important.
It is. Like you can break that rule after you know when you can break that rule. Like for example, like if the crowd is going wild, your job is already done. You can hype some moments or have some interaction with them, which is basically the most important part for an MC. But it's also good to just stay in touch. Is not the right word, but pay attention. Just watch. Exactly. Okay. Watch the crowd.
Does the name come from that? I never asked.
No, actually no. No, the name is actually from back in the day. I wasn't the fastest, so I was just like watching, and everybody was. I was the lookout.
Oh, okay, fair. Yeah.
That's
okay.
the.
Sorry, sidetracking, but.
Yeah, no, look. That's the story behind it.
Yeah.
But just watch the crowd.
Know how to.
No, like for example, if everybody's on their phone in front of the stage, like, wait, I'm gonna
Get off your phone.
I actually say that. I really don't care. Like, put your fucking phone down, or like people trying to throw their phones on stage so you can film the crowd, and I'm like, okay, look, sometimes I do it. I'm like, okay, great, whatever, just do it. But there's an entire media crew here. I understand that you want to create your personal memories and like something special to post on your socials, whatever. But you're here to actually party and just enjoy the moment, enjoy the sets, enjoy the show. And I think that's where an MC can really shine. Because it's a show what people are coming for.
Definitely now it's so much more than just music and an MC, like especially with the bigger festivals. So much going on.
Yeah, but also in a club. Like I stand, like for example in Toulouse in l'Arena, it's in France. I go there and it's a club, but like you can really interact, hype the crowd, have certain French phrases. But also
I love
just
that when you do that when you're in a different country.
Yeah, like on y va, allez là, that kind of stuff. Like it's really special. Love Arena, but it's important to keep in touch with the crowd. Like if they're not partying, there's a reason. There might be the sound maybe it might be off. You know, like I can actually notice when the sound inside, like in the on the floor, is like really messed up. And they're like, okay, great, please, can hear stuff and just like do the bass.
They'll let you know, right? Because they're always like.
Sometimes yes, but I can also, for example, like with the music, that's one thing. Also with the mic, if the mic is too loud, people will be like, okay. Thanks for shattering my eardrums. Yeah. And if it's not loud enough, they will not react to you. Yeah. Like you can say something, they're like, yeah, great. I have no idea what you said, but keep going.
Good job.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I need to, like, emceeing is not just screaming into a mic and just screaming into the void. Yeah,
no, but that brings me to something I wanted to ask as well. It's also so much about collaboration with like the organization and with the artist, both when you're on stage, but also when you're like, for example, making tracks or you've done voiceovers and stuff.
Yep.
That's also a big part of being an MC, I think. You don't have to do that, I suppose. You don't have to do tracks, but...
Yeah, well, yes and no. Like, as a DJ, you can not produce. There are some DJs that are really successful.
They're just DJing,
They're DJing, like, they don't have a lot of tracks. This was sometimes just one or two.
Also the other way around, lots of producers that only want to produce and not want to be a DJ. Yeah.
So it's just your personal preference, but for an MC, it's good to get your name out there. Like for promotion, financially, it's interesting, but also just for your creativity. Like you said, I'm doing voiceovers, trailers, concept design, event support, that kind of thing. Like all in music, and it really helps you. Like if I call it world building. Just like you can actually build worlds within a festival or in the theme. Like for example, you use the Voice of Mayhem, but nowadays you have like this year. To the Masters. Like the stage, there was an entire story behind it.
It was
like
really cool.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
But there's an entire story within the track, within the anthem, within the show, within the promotion, and that's really cool to achieve. Like you build a world inside of a party. And
it's one of the reasons I want to do this podcast, because there goes, especially nowadays, there goes so much more into a party than just like, it's like an organization, someone books the artist, they play, and that's it. Like stage building, the story around it, the theme, the marketing, the stories the artists and the MCs tell, everyone behind the bars, everyone that's doing awareness, everyone that's like doing security. There's so much going on at a festival that I think people don't. They notice it. Like for example, they know like Masters or DEFCON has like a good story, but they don't really know how much goes into that, I think.
Yeah, but that's I think that's also part of entertainment. Like if you have a movie, like a movie production, you see the final product, or the crowd sees the final product, but you don't know like the troubles of the shoots, the editing, whatever, the grinding.
The art,
Exactly,
yeah.
and it's the same as with our scene. Like nowadays they do it a little bit more. Like intense shows, like okay, this is the build up, and Rebirth as well. Like okay, this is how we started the festival, but there goes so many hours just thinking, layers. Everybody's creating something for the final show, and that's what that's how I see the job of an MC as well. Like you're part of a show. It's not just about like I said, screaming into the void, but you're there to entertain. People pay a ticket to be entertained, to forget about their stuff and their weekly whatever's going on, school, work, staying at home, whatever's going on. They're there to be entertained, just have a good time. And I think that's also tying back to the bartending and what you said. Like a lot of people in our scene have been bartending or have been working in clubs.
Something like that,
because it's the same mindset. Like people come to a club or you go out to be entertained, have a good time, and not experience the normal. What's the English word for slur?
I don't know how to translate that.
The rut.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
That's I think that's one of the key parts of being an MC. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's beautifully said. Collaborations. You've done many, I think.
Oh yeah. That was the original question. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
I went on a tangent. Just okay.
It was a beautiful tangent.
Thank you.
But I want to hear the good, the bad, the ugly about collaborations.
Okay. The good.
Give the tea.
Yeah, give the tea.
The tea.
Well, the tea. What you mean, like the collaborations in the studio or on stage, or?
Let's start with studio, because you've worked with like a lot of artists, and you've also You've also a lot of like long ongoing collaborations.
Mm-hmm.
So how did that start, and how is that for you?
I'm thinking
that
about my first.
Way of saying
It's okay, I understand. Like I'm actually thinking about the first. I think my first actual collaboration was with Restyle. We did a track back then, and also with Master of Noise. Maybe it's good to share a bit of the backstory of that. Like in the beginning, when I started with starting going the hardcore way, I performed a lot in Germany with Master of Noise.
Mm-hmm.
We toured a lot there. Did one of the biggest parties. There were 5-year celebration in Luxor Plaza back then. And that's the first time that I was there. But we were like, okay, let's do a collaboration. Let's do it in the studio. I didn't have a mic. I just had my own portable studio, not even like the performance mic, so a dynamic mic, which is absolutely horrible to record vocals on. But I just started out with just the basic kit. It was like, I don't know even what it was, like just Sennheiser probably, or Shure, something like that. And recorded the vocals for that track. It's a really bad track.
Somewhere, right?
Yeah, but that's what it is. Like throughout the years, you grow with the music, you grow with the collaborations. Start out with Restyle, then you get, like I said, like Voice of Mayhem out of the blue. Like, okay, cool. What? Okay.
And then what's next? Also, right? Yeah.
That was a serious problem.
Yeah.
That's probably still one of the bad things of collaborations.
You have such like a high, I think, with like a high point with that, and then you kind of want to go over.
Yeah, good.
But then,
sorry.
But exactly, like how do you even achieve anything like that? Maybe that's also good to realize.
Nah, like the first year, of course, like I got a couple of requests. But yeah, let's do a collab. Okay, cool. Yeah, I want to do something like Voice of Mayhem. Like, dude, really?
Yeah.
No, like
it's never gonna be Voice of Mayhem.
it's never gonna be that good. You can take some elements that works, or the style, but the track worked because it was the perfect moment, the perfect time that was created, just the perfect collab, and that's why it's still around 15 years later.
Yeah.
But you can never, for example, if I'm not sure, and I'm actually doubting what would happen if a track exactly like Voice of Mayhem was not released, and we would release the track today, it would be shit.
Yeah, if it had the same impact, probably not.
No, because the times changed, the productions changed, the level of the producers has skyrocketed. Like it's way higher. The software, the production tools are way better now than back in the day.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the struggles, the struggles of probably the producer as well, but also for the vocalist. If you have a hit, like for example, you have Voice of Mayhem, you have Payback. Trying to recreate Payback would be a nightmare.
You have more collaborations than Voice of Mayhem that are quite iconic. Let's dive into those. I think we start with Payback. We mentioned it.
Yeah, Payback. Well, the backstory about that is like I met Ryan years ago, and he was. We were like, okay, you know what? We were on stage. The vibe was good. Like always having fun. Especially a really crazy party in Paris with a techno parade. Great times.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, exactly. It was great, but yeah, we thought like, okay, let's do a collaboration.
Yeah.
And it was actually 5 years later that I'm actually, okay, another backstory. Okay, so at Dominator, my friends always... after the festival, I'm like, okay, I haven't seen anything. Basically, I'll sit there during the end show looking like, I see some lights, just some flashes, because I'm behind the booth and I can't go anywhere, so I'm stuck or on the side. I'm like, okay, let's do an after party. Now I can finally drink.
Yeah,
like,
just for the people that don't know, like if you're stuck behind, like backstage during end show, you're not allowed to leave because of the fireworks.
No,
you
safety.
either get kicked out or you're like hiding, like this. All of it.
It's too dangerous.
Yeah.
If something happens, you the party ends and never comes back probably.
Yeah. So that's
basically, you're stuck. You cannot move. You sit there and just wait till the end show is done, and then you can leave when it's safe. When they give the okay, move.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So that's an important part. But after that, my friends always say like, yeah, man, there's an after party on the other side of the festival terrain. I'm like, cool, okay, let's go. And then I come there, and I arrive, and it's like, there's no party. Everybody's fed up with the party and just tired. And I'm like,
I want to party.
Yeah, I want to party. And like, there's no after party. Oh. So, like, I was 2008? No, 2018 that I did the collab with him.
18, I think.
2018. Yeah. So it was the festival before that, like 2018. I walked out of the crew area where there was no after party, and I saw Ryan. Yeah. And we're like, okay, listen, yeah, man, cool. I'm looking for the after party. He's like, no, I'm going home. I'm like, look, we really need to do the collaboration. He's like, yeah, let's do it. Just like, yeah. That was basically the moment we decided to do Payback. Yeah. And he was working on his album, Alpha Omega. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And explained the story behind it, what he wanted to do with the album, like have a dark light, like a vision for it.
Iconic album as well. Like,
it really is. And back then, like... it was like really fitting that it was the theme for the track was Vengeance. And I was like, okay, Revenge. And
something different word.
No, yeah, Revenge. So and the track was actually supposed to be called Revenge, and that's why the scream Revenge is in the track.
Fair, yeah.
And back then I was going through a personal situation with an ex-girlfriend.
So you had the energy to...
Trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me. There was a not so fun situation, let me put it like that. And I really used all of that emotion in the track of Payback, which is, the Payback is about that. And that's why I call Payback, like it wasn't supposed to be called Payback, but in the end it turned out that way. And I think that's, for my collaborations, the most iconic ones are ones that really have emotion in it. Like Voice of Mayhem, same. Payback. Another one is, for example, Global. I did it with Korsakov. Back when my father died, I wrote the track for him. And it's still an emotional track. One of my favorites. It's strange to call it, but how do you say it? I could really put my emotion into a track. And that's also for collaborations, for MCs. You write how you feel, and something you experienced or something you think of, like something creative you come up with.
I think emotions are very important to get creative. I think a lot of creatives feel a lot as well. They're very high in their emotions.
True.
Not all of them, obviously.
No. Like it's not good if you're constantly in your emotions.
No.
But
been
like,
there.
but for example, in the track, people resonate with stories, with experiences that they will undoubtedly experience themselves. Like except for Payback, everybody had such a feeling like, okay, just pure aggression, just inside, bottled up, that needs to be released.
Yeah, and then Ryan had a lot of those kind of tracks with a lot of feeling in it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's why we resonated as well, because like we did a lot of back and forth about the track. Also, it always did a lot of variations. Like the version 1 is like totally different than the final version. I actually posted the original one. I think last year, like December, when it was 5 years released. 5 years. Yeah, 5 years. Yeah. So 5 years.
6. Last year.
Yeah, 6 years.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
No, but it was like a milestone. The track has like 70 million streams or something. I think now 18 probably. And it still gets played. Although people call it techno now or something. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I have an opinion about it.
We could have a whole different discussion about
I don't really care what you call it. Like, it's music. Enjoy it. It's hard. Call it, I don't know, eclectic, raw style, whatever the fuck it is. I don't care.
Euphoric raw style.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, and that's what is important about collaborations. Just being free to express yourself inside the track, not really caring about an entire plan. Like, okay, now I need to do this track this way so it gets TikTok, whatever, replayability, and whatever the hell else. I'm like, be creative, experiment. Like, for example, the track with Global was personal. I really didn't care if people liked it, didn't like it. It was my story to tell.
And I think working with someone can heighten that, like, because you get the back and forth and you get to be creative together. That's so much more energy than just having to do it by yourself, maybe.
Yes and no. It can happen, but sometimes, like I said, like some things are really personal. Or of course, other people, like the producer or the guy you're working with, has experienced something similar. But your story, and that's the essence of the vocalist, of the MC. He's telling his story. The producer is telling his story through music, through the sounds. But the words are from the MC or from the vocalist, how you want to call it. So sometimes it does connect that way, and you're like, okay, listen. For example, like you can do a track. I'm not gonna tell him, but I did. He created the track.
Mm-hmm.
I did the vocals. He went back because he didn't. He loved the vocals, but didn't like the track anymore. Changed the track, and then we had the final product. Like that's also a way. Like I'm getting inspired by the vocals. Yeah. Or me getting inspired by the music, for example.
Yeah.
And that's the best way to collaborate on a track, I think. Just create something fresh together. Just be open-minded.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever had collaborations where you're like, okay, I'm not leveling with this person, this is not happening, and how do you deal with that then?
It depends. For example, if I'm really like, okay, listen, I'm not feeling the track, then I'm not gonna do the track.
No.
Because you can do it for the paycheck, for example. Fine, you know, like I can do it just using my voice.
Yeah.
But it's completely different than having a personal experience, like I said, like I don't know about your ex-girlfriend or some troubles that you're dealing with, or a loved one passing away. That's a completely different moment for the MC and for the emotion inside a track. And then for example, just a normal party track, for example.
Yeah. Well, then there's probably also space for both, right? Like not every track has to be that emotional.
We would be depressed.
That would be exhausting. That's what I'm saying. Like some people are so creative that they get like so into that, and then sometimes it's just like for a fun track, and sometimes it may be just for the money because it's also a job. Yeah. Exactly,
and you should do both. Like it's also good to broaden your horizons, like music-wise, like do vocals that you normally wouldn't do, or like this is not really my style. For example, they will provide me with lyrics like I want to, especially with voiceovers, because the promoter has an idea of the festival, he has the team, he has the entire setting, and he wants your voice because your voice is just right for that. Then you're like, then you work into his character that he envisions. And that's different than being totally free to do whatever you want to do. Yeah. And like you said, it should be both. You learn from things that you haven't done, or I don't know, like try singing, try voiceover, spoken word. Like back in the day, it was more loud voice, screaming, more that style. And my style actually just went beyond that, like spoken word voiceovers, more preaching is maybe the word. Like more like a preaching style, that kind of stuff, but also just a combination of different styles.
Yeah. Do you have a few projects that are not with artists, like for example voiceovers or anthems or stuff like that you're like, okay, these are my favorites?
Actually, it is track. I actually did a track for a video game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for a rhythm game. It's called Claim the Game with Sachi for the company's called Ryark. I forget the game's name again, but yeah.
That's cool. So that's completely different. Yeah.
Completely different. Yeah. For example, I'm doing a track now with a hard techno DJ. It's soon. Soon. To be announced. To be announced, exactly. So yeah, like if you try different things, you will only improve yourself, because you will learn to do different things with your voice. Yeah.
I think that also comes throughout your career, right? Like 20 years and you have a different view on that than maybe when you just started and really wanted to do a specific thing.
If I look back now, I was horrible. And that's it. No, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
If you're still in the same position as you were 20 years ago, you messed up.
Yeah, fair.
Like 20 years ago, like I didn't know anything, not the production tools, I had crappy equipment, probably bad voice control.
Did you ever get lessons or anything?
Yeah, actually did. Like just for the breathing part, like a little bit of singing. Don't ask.
I kind of want to know.
No. Well, maybe one day I will do a singing. Actually, my entire family sings. So, like, I have an uncle who's pretty famous in the Caribbean.
Oh.
Yeah, nobody knows. It's a secret. But no, like, yeah, I might want to try a little bit of singing, but it's really close with the style that we do, because the notes and just it's not like really rapping that we do. It's more of a hyping and
Yeah, but
doesn't
it's
really
still a control that you have to
exactly
have over your voice. Like it's not just talking.
no, absolutely not.
Yeah. I think people may think that it's just like, okay, everyone can talk in a microphone, right? First of all, not everyone has the voice because that's also something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then also you have to interact with the crowd. You have to interact with the artists. You have to like know about the festival, like what kind of like vibe is there and what is their story. And then also you have to have the control of your voice, because if you're like have no voice anymore after an hour because you've been screaming in the microphone.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's just me as not an MC saying
No. Like
so.
it's really about more being in control of your voice and just knowing when and where to speak and to say something. Because, for example, like Dominator, the entire weekend, I do the Friday, then the Saturday, also the after party on the Friday. So you really need to not balance like dose, put it in the right dose to know. Not to mess up your voice, because if you lose your voice, then you cannot work.
Yeah,
like a DJ can just like, okay, I lost my voice. Okay,
Yeah.
MC, take the mic and do whatever you want. But as MC, if you lose your voice, you're
Done.
Yeah, you're done.
Yeah.
You're like, okay. Great. Well, you've got a couple of.
And then also like DJs are there for an hour, maybe two.
Yeah.
You're there the whole day, basically.
Yeah. Basically, I am there 1 hour before the party starts. Just for sound checking. Usually I'm one of the first there, first one in, last one out.
I can relate, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So not only the parties changed, not only you changed, the community of the hardcore scene also changed a lot, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Do you notice that in like the way you interact with people?
Yeah. Like 20 years ago, we of course didn't have a lot of social media. We had Party Flock, but that's about it. But like with social media came other things, like you're really close with the community, like they can send you Instagram, Facebook, Snap, what else you got, WhatsApp, so the communication, and especially in our scene, I have to say, in the harder styles like hardstyle, hardcore, whatever, the fans and the artists and the promoters are really close.
Yeah, there's not like a big divide between them.
Yeah,
right?
like if you imagine, I don't know, Justin Bieber or whatever the hell, one of the American superstars.
Yeah.
Let me put it like that. You really know, like, okay, he's the artist, and there's like a big bridge, like that you have to cross before you get to interact with him. Sometimes you see him at the show, and it's like really. I touched his hair or some shit, you know, like exactly. And in our scene, it's just like the artist, you can find him in the crowd. Just like, okay, I'll drink a beer. Cool set from the other guy. Yeah, I'm gonna check that one out. I'm gonna go over there.
Yeah.
And you have a chat with a fan or somebody's like, okay, and when is this track coming out? An album or like really close interaction. It's not like superstar diva, that kind of stuff, but more, it's closer. And I think it has a lot to do with most of the artists, I think basically all of them, they started out as just party goers.
Fans.
Yeah, just fans. And like, oh my god, man, I love what he's doing, I love this music, I actually want to be there. Like, I see him standing there, let me try it. Just like buy some CDJs and start playing and producing. But most of them, I think, same for me, I actually enjoyed the music, and that's why I wanted to go into the scene, just like the love for the music, and I think that's important.
Yeah.
Like
it's also, on one hand, it's quite a big scene, but it's also quite small. Like everyone knows each other, and even like among the fans, like you know who's in the front row with certain DJs, right? Like it's very on one hand like worldwide and massive events, but on the other hand, it's also like, okay, we could also be in a tiny club next week and have a ton of fun there as well.
Of course, you have the really dedicated crowd that really are there for the music. Of course, you have. I have no idea how to say it in English. Dagjesvolk.
Oh, dagjesvolk.
Dagjesvolk.
Dagjesmensen. Just the people who come to have a look at, for example, we were talking about DEFCON, like, okay, I want to experience DEFCON.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They want to experience, less of, not really the music, but more of the experience of the festival, the show, the fireworks, like be in a crowd of 30,000 people.
I do have a small opinion about that. I think we all, not all, but lots of us also started out like that. I was, like, my first event was Loudness, actually, years ago. And I was just like...
about?
No, Masro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I was like, my friends are going, I want to go. So I was kind of like, a dagjesmens was just like, okay, my friends are going, I want to go. Fell absolutely in love with the music. Like, I didn't know any of the artists, I didn't really know the music. I knew some hardstyle, what rawstyle was like. Kind of new to me.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. And
it is. I didn't mean it to in the derogatory way, like they don't belong here.
Yeah,
no, but like people that wanna, they're less there for the music. They won't be in the front row, like going absolutely apeshit on.
I have respect for people that are in the front row always. Like,
they're going nuts.
Yeah.
But you of course have people just want to experience. We want to have a good time, and I think that's the essence as well of a festival. It's not really about each individual part. We all have an important part to play, but at the end of the day, the people are there to be entertained. Yeah. They come there to have a good time. They want to party. They want to have forget their troubles and just experience something that they normally don't experience, and they can fall in love and be a dedicated fan. And like 2 years, 3 years later, they're like, yeah, front row, I don't care, let's go.
But they could also be like, okay, this was fun for one time, and that's also fine.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. Like it's.
You've tried it.
Yeah. Like of course, like if my first experience at the festival was like total shit, then I would be like, not doing this again. I'll stay at the house party, or I'll just drink a beer in a cafe, whatever.
Yeah. And I think festival goers or ravers or whatever you want to call them have changed in general with social media, because like the outfits, the gadgets, the like. All of that has become like way more important with like the rise of social media too. And then it's funny because especially when ravers come from different countries and they come to the Netherlands and everyone is in jeans and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Whether it's positive or negative is a different discussion. But I enjoy seeing that. I like that.
Yeah, same for me. Like that's what I think is the most important part about our festivals, our scene, the hardcore, harder styles. Just everybody's welcome, and it's like it shouldn't matter like where you're from, what you like. If you want to have be in the front row partying hard or just chilling in the back.
The way you dress, all that kind of stuff.
Doesn't really matter. Like if you like the music, you like the people. Be social, come to party and not to start trouble or whatever. Then go somewhere far away.
I do have to say, I've been to a lot of festivals also outside of our community, our scene. There's really little fights and things at our events.
There are.
Yeah, that's very.
Like it's, gemoedelijk.
It's
Gezellig.
mellow.
No. Learn this word. Gezellig. So no, it's more like it's chill. The crowd is chill. The music might be aggressive as hell, hard, loud, whatever.
It's the same in metal though. Those are the kindest guys as well.
Yep.
Like I love those people.
I actually like metal.
Yeah, same.
I like a lot of music.
I was always like into punk. Before I went to like hard dance, I was like the emo kid.
The emo kid?
My Chemical Romance, big fan.
Okay, so basically, where's the black hair and the makeup?
Can you imagine me with black hair? Oh my god.
I don't know. Try it.
I would light up in the dark.
Yeah? Just, okay. There's AI, right? Let's try. Okay, shove this in and make it a gothic.
No.
No, but no, it's the same. What you say, like metal. it might be aggressive, but the people are the kindest that you ever experienced.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's one of the key parts of our scene. Yeah, just welcoming. Like, you can go anywhere to any party, whatever you like, and you'll have a good time. And I think that's really a strength of our scene. And that's why it's also important. Just
I think we
don't care about the dances. Don't care about anything what everybody wears. If you're wearing jeans or Australians or whatever the hell you want to do, just
keeping the way we hug.
No, I don't care. Like, even if you do the shuffle on hardcore, I don't care.
No,
You're there to have a good time. We all are.
Yeah.
So that's really a strength and something to treasure in our scene.
Yeah, something to keep alive, I think. As
Yeah,
well.
yeah, for
Especially
sure.
with new generations coming in, I think it's so important to keep
I
that.
think they do. Like,
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, yeah.
No, so that's
Very positive note.
Yeah, it's a positive.
I was about to say to end on, but I do have like one more thing I want to dive into.
Okay.
20 years. 19 officially. 20 years.
19, yeah. This next year. Next year is going to be 20.
Okay, first of all, how are we going to celebrate that? 20 years, big milestone.
I'm not sure yet. I'm actually working on some things. Like, I've got a couple of ideas. But, yeah, I'm not sure yet. I've got a couple of ideas that might be cool. But if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it like properly. Just I want to do it like a special project. So it will include music, of course. But I'm really thinking like, okay, 20 years and just it's been a journey, like and I want to encompass the entire journey into something which is absolutely hard. So I'm still thinking about it. Yeah. I can't divulge anything yet. So yeah, sorry. Nah, but there will be some cool things coming up. Yeah. Actually, in the works.
Looking back at those 20 years, that whole journey, are there things you're like, okay, I haven't done this yet. I do really want to do this in the future, or are you like, I'm happy where I am right now and I'll see where I'll go?
Well, yeah, that's one thing. Never did an album, so maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, like haven't performed in America yet or Asia, so that's something on the to-do list.
Definitely the scene is becoming bigger there as well.
For sure. Yeah. Like America did it EDC Las Vegas last weekend? 2 weeks. Last weekend. Yeah. Okay. Recently, yeah. So the videos from that looked really cool. So it's that might be cool, like a goal that I wanna accomplish. But also just expanding, like I said, with the world building, with voiceovers. There's a festival coming July where you hear my voice, and I'm actually surprised nobody has recognized my voice yet because I did the trailer and the teaser and everything.
Oh, it's one of my favorite things to guess. Like when I hear
the
trailer, I'm like, oh, which of the MCs is this?
Do you know?
No, I'm not sure what you're talking about right now.
Yeah, no, I can then.
Well, okay. Have I heard it? Definitely.
Yeah, you have heard it.
Yeah, okay.
She's like, no, but
when the cameras are off, I'm gonna ask again.
But actually, that was a cool project to do. I'm gonna do another project like that. That's what I like. For example, for the next 20 years, for the next 20 years is gonna be a lot more experimentation. Also working on the voiceover part, the vocal parts. Hell, I might even start singing.
I mean,
I'm not sure that you want to, but
you're 20 years in now. You get to the point where you're like, okay, we can like do some things out of the box, right?
Yeah, exactly. I always try to do that, like with the vocals, with the performances, just do something special. But now I'm like, okay, and it was actually since the great period of the disease that we shall not name of 2 years
I
of.
want to get monetized. So
Exactly. Nah, I know. So that's why I like the thing that shall not be named. Exactly.
Yeah.
There are studies.
Our Great Depression.
Yeah, exactly. That's the greatest word for it ever.
Yeah.
But during that period, I was like, okay, now we can really start to experiment. There are no parties. There's no main stage. There's nothing.
Yeah.
What can happen? Okay, that you don't get booked for a festival that's not here. So try something different.
With all the bad that period brought, I think it also, for a lot of us, gave some time of reflection.
Yeah, for sure. And it's I think people started to experiment as well. I think did My Dog start with down tempo around that time? I think.
So,
yeah.
Like
it was a great time to experiment. Just reposition yourself. Like, okay, look, what I'm gonna do after or during the corona. I learned some new skills, producer skills, writing skills. I dove into a lot of books and about, like I said, world building. And it really helped. Like you can learn from that to use in your job. Yeah. Let me put it like that.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is in the end. Yeah. Okay. Any final words? Anything you want to share with the audience? I'm out of questions, so I think I asked enough.
Maybe some advice if you want to be an MC as well. Like, just enjoy it. Make it a great journey. Enjoy yourself. Have a great time. Try to learn. Shut the hell up at the right times. Learn when you can and cannot speak. But most of all, you gotta do it yourself.
It's about your experience, your journey, your story.
That too, but like, of course, if hopefully you have a team or friends of yours that support you. You've got an agency, you got a label, but in the end, you're the only one who can promote yourself the best way anyone can, because it's you. You are the product.
You're your own brands, basically.
Exactly. And that's probably also what I learned in 20 years time. Like, just keep going. If you take the time to reflect, know what you desire, think about it if you want to pursue this career. Be prepared to sacrifice a lot. Just know where your principles are and stick to them. It might be hard and you might be tempted to break them for great opportunities or anything. Like, that was great, but if you stick to them, that's probably the best way to get to 20 years.
To 20 years, yeah. Thank you so much for having
my absolute pleasure.
And I hope you guys liked it. Definitely let me know who else I should talk to. Could be anyone in the festival industry, any job.
Yeah.
What are you interested in? Episodes are coming out monthly here on YouTube and on Spotify. So cool. Let us know. If you want to follow The Watcher, if you don't yet, shame on you. But if you if you don't yet, everything will be in the show notes. And see you at the festival.
Thank you.
Dominator.
Dominator.